Hello and welcome back. My name is David Ruther and I'm here to answer all of you questions that you may have about singing, the voice, music, anything you want. Just ask the question and I promise I will get you the answer. And if I don't know the answer, then we can figure it out together. So the question I've been getting a lot lately is about technique. And what technique is right for me? What technique is right for me? David, what technique is right for me? I don't know. Have you tried them? Have you tried them all? Have you looked at them? Have you gone into them? Or have you just done the deep dive into YouTube and watched reaction videos and tried to do that? Yeah, kind of calling you out right now. No, I'm going to talk about 3 specific techniques, but that's going to be in 3 separate videos. This video is actually going to be about probably, I would say, the most popular one in its speech level singing, and it was created by a gentleman named Seth Riggs back in the early 80s. Now, Seth Riggs, in his early days, studied bel canto and schola cantorum, which is like liturgical music or church music. And he thought, hey, why can't I take this, what I'm learning here, and apply it to, say, maybe pop, rock, maybe a little bit of musical theater? Why can't I do that? So that's when he started to come up with speech level singing. Now, I am not going to say what works and what does not work about speech level singing, because each individual gets what they need from it. I'm not going to say whether it is bad or whether it is good. I am just going to give you the facts, and then you can look up your own information, and then you can come to your own conclusion. Now, the main foundation to speech level singing is not singing like you speak, which is most people think it is. It is actually keeping a nice relaxed larynx, nice and down, as it is when you are speaking. That's what it's all about, is relaxing the larynx. Now, how he goes about that, he has several exercises and techniques that he goes through, but are all of them going to work? Maybe, maybe not. Are some of them going to work? Maybe, maybe not. We don't know. You don't know until you try them. You don't know until you explore, okay? The next thing that he is that in speech level singing, there's like 3 things. The second thing is that he emphasizes the passaggi, the break or the bridge, that place where your voice goes, right? And so he takes you through that, and he brings you up and he brings you back down. Okay, and it's about the connection through that place, through that area. That's what he emphasizes on, is the passaggi, the break, or the bridge. Now, the third thing is he is very adamant about not going into the false voice or falsetto, false chords, you name it, whatever you want. He says that when you go, and he's very correct on that, by the way, very correct. Everything that he is saying is absolutely correct. Everything that he is building speech level singing on is absolutely correct. Now, to go about it, now to implement it, I don't know, because I don't know you. I don't know what your body is capable of or what your body is not capable of. I just know that these are the 3 principles, and all 3 principles are very correct in how you should sing. So, next, taking that false voice, it is going to never come into the real voice. And I'm going to explain in a video about falsetto because it is the most misunderstood and the most misused thing in singing, in my opinion. So I want to give a whole video on it. I want to give a whole video to give you the entire definition of false voice, and so that you can really get it, all the information. So by putting all of those together, he believes that you can have a connected voice, and he believes that you should have that. He calls it a mixed voice. I don't call it a mixed voice, but am I going to say he's wrong? No, I'm not. I'm just going to say using that term may be a little bit confusing to some people. It may be using chest voice. He says chest voice and head voice and mixed voice. And I say, I don't use those things. Now, maybe when he uses it in his terms, that people get it, but I say that it's just it's misinformed because you're using false points of reference. That's all I say. I'm not saying he's right or he's wrong or anything like that. I'm just saying I, in my own opinion, believe that he is using false, or whoever says chest voice, head voice, mixed voice, is using a false point of reference. That's it, okay? So, now, when you're putting all of those together, he said the connected voice, or the mixed voice, going from bottom, middle, to high, should all be connected, and it should all have the same properties. And I absolutely believe that. That the top should feel like the bottom should feel like the top, and they should all feel the same going through the break, the passaggi, or the bridge. Okay? Now, how he goes about it is he'll use the Rossini scale, or octave and a half. And he likes to do lip trills. He likes to do tongue trills. He'll take somebody up if he's using you to go through the passaggi. He'll do a tongue trill. He'll do that sort of thing. He also he's the one that came up with. I don't know if he came up with it, but it's the neigh. You know, everybody does the neigh, like neigh, 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 neigh. But again, he likes to go neigh, 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 neigh. He likes, that's what it is. It's the neigh in that. Then, basically what he came up with is then to use it so that a bunch of vocal instructors can use it. So all vocal instructors have taken it, and you go through his program, and then you use the speech level singing method. Now, here's the thing, is that now there are a bunch of haters out there that see that it maybe worked and that he's very successful, and they're like, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Here's 5 reasons why it doesn't work. Well, why would you be attacking it? Why would you have to do that? Honestly, why would you have to do that if it works for some people, very famous people, in matter of fact? Now, is it going to work for each individual? I don't know. But I just know that if somebody attacks another person like that, that's on them. You know, they call it deflecting. They're like, I wish I was like that. I wish I could do that, but I can't, so I'm just going to attack it and say why it's wrong. You have to be aware of that. I'm not saying this technique is right, and I'm not saying this technique is wrong. I want you to do your due diligence and research it. Look up videos on Seth Riggs, not anybody else, because guess what? Seth Riggs is 91 years old now. And I believe that, yes, he had a brilliant mind and it came up with a brilliant method, and that brilliance sometimes gets lost in translation with other vocal instructors because they're trying to put their own thing on it. Okay? But now you're going to do your research and say, okay, maybe some of these things do work. But the other thing that you're going to recognize is that they're pretty much all the same, every single technique. The only thing is they'll change words. They'll change phrases. They'll change ways of which they say it. He is very, he being Seth Riggs, he's also very big on the witchy sound. They call it a witchy sound. And that's how he gets you to do, not in false voice, but in real voice, and he actually does that. Okay? Others, and I'm not going to name who they are, I'm not going to name any names or whatever, but they call it a different thing, and that's going to be in the next videos of technique and all that kind of stuff. They just call it a different thing, and they have a different way to go about it. So do you see how you can't just go off of one? How you can't just go off of one technique and say, this is it. Because guess what? One person is going to come on here, maybe on YouTube, and say, you know what, speech level is wrong. You should do it my way. My way's the right way. Do it like me. And you're like, yeah, but okay, how do you do it? And they're like, okay, well, you need to sing it just like I sing it. And I'm going to make a sound, ha! Now you make that sound. And if you can't make that sound like me, then you're not doing it right. Now, do they actually come out and say that? No, they don't. But that's what they mean. That's exactly what they mean. They say, do it like me. If you don't do it like me, you're doing it wrong. Turn that video off and move on. Turn it off, move on. No more clicks. No more clicks. And if you're going on there to the reaction videos and thinking you're getting real information, you're not. Yes, I just called you out. You need to do your due diligence and research. Okay? Because if you don't, then you're never going to know what's right for you. Personally, as the individual, you're always going to be copying. You're always going to be Why am I doing it wrong? Why am I doing it wrong? It's because you're not thinking for yourself. You're not thinking outside the box because all of these individuals are putting you in the box. Now, I have to say, Seth Riggs has never put anybody in his box. He's never said, my technique is the only technique. He just says that his technique works and that, you know what, you can try it, and some people like it and some people don't. And he's never said anybody else is wrong. He's never said, now other people have attacked him, and, you know, especially schools, especially colleges, because they're saying what you're doing is wrong, and so it's a back and forth and all this kind of stuff. But there's always going to be a back and forth. And the only thing that I have learned in my 17 years of teaching, the only thing that vocal instructors agree on The Voice is that they all disagree. Every single one of them. So you need to do your research and really pinpoint what is good for you and what is not. Okay? That was Speech Level Singing by Seth Riggs. Look it up, do your research, find out what's good for you. Now, if you have any questions about all of this, that's where I am. I'm here to guide you through that. So you can answer, or you can give me the questions and I will answer them down below. Maybe in my Instagram, my Facebook page, my website, you name it, just put the question, or even in the comments below, put it there, and I will get you the answer. And if I don't know the answer, we'll figure it out together. I guarantee that. Okay? Because again, my name is David Ruther, and I'm here to help.